Hey, Jared, welcome to Tuesday, man. It's been a crazy getting ready for any Tuesday, but hopefully
It's
we can
terrific Tuesday. We got to be ready.
terrific Tuesday, but it's been a daunting task getting everything organized and ready before the 11 o'clock start there.
Mm.
Hopefully, we can continue on with our stacking winners yesterday. I think between you and me together in every race all the way down the card, we had the winner either in the first or second pick.
And La Pluma paid well for us. We had that one right on the money. I should have made that my best bet, but I put a nice 500 on that one. I was confident in that one, and we took a little bit of a loss on our prime rib, but we didn't lose it 100%. We only took about a 30% loss on it.
Actually, we came out okay on the pro. We made a profit on it, both sides, because it paid $1.25 for 50 cents. So we only put in 96.
Oh, I thought it paid.
It was
I thought it
250 for a buck.
250 for a buck, so we made
Mhm.
120. Oh, and then I did my math wrong, so it's even
That's
better.
okay.
You turn
Well,
the
that's
prime rib into a porterhouse.
yes, so yeah, a little bit better. Yeah, not much, but for certain, we came ahead on that and a little bit ahead on the hot
Then I
dog
had
pick
the
force too.
exacta. Then I had the
Mhm.
exacta in my box and then that 8-3 in that last race.
So hopefully we got a lot more chances to get it right today at Parx.
Yeah.
So let's try to I hope I got this right, because this been just I don't know, when you get these Gmail email chains, they get one gets stacked on top of the other, and it isn't hard to confuse me, believe me. I got to be very focused right down the lane. I got to drive between the lines, otherwise so I don't know what I'm going to do with one of these new cars in the next 5 years that drives itself when it starts to move a little
Auto
bit.
park. I'll just sit back here.
Yeah, that's not. It's going to make me nervous as hell, man. I'll be honest with you. So, all right, let's get rolling with Parx. We'll start with, of course, race number 1. I hope I have everything right here. It's a 5.5 furlong maiden claiming $10,000 race for a purse of $19,000 for 5.5 furlongs, Jared. And just a quick profile of a winner on a 5.5 furlong Parx race. 35 races, 27 won by speed, 17 of which went wire to wire. You have fair post positions. The 2 and the 3 do have a small penalty, but really not deal killers. All right. Do I got your picks right? Let's just start there.
Let's take 1, 7, 8, and 6 in the 10th.
I'm talking about race 1.
Oh, race 1, yeah. Race 1, we're good.
1, 7, 8, and 6 in the 10th?
Yes.
All right. There we go. All right.
1, yeah, 1, 7, 8, 6.
Everything else is all right? I can't believe it. I'm stunned.
10, 4, 9, 12, and the 11th. Yeah, I think we're good.
7, all right, 8, so 6. Race number 1. Let's crack off there. So what do you think? No
race
sympathy.
Number 1.
You have no sympathy for me today trying to get these things in here.
Right? No. I got you. Race 1. We got a 5.5 furlong maiden claimer, 10,000. We have my time primary pick, the number 7, had the best dirt speed, dropping from a 40,000 claimer into a $10,000 claimer here. It's a little bit suspicious. The works are good. It takes the drop in the class. And just recently had a 3 furlong workout clocked at a 39.4. Is the primary speed. Will go out to the front. Question is, can he hold it? Didn't hold up last time. Hopefully he can get the job done this time. The second pick, the number 2, 26% trainer, win percentage on maiden claimers. Second off the layoff of the cycle. His second race off his layoff cycle. Did perform a 4 furlong workout with a 49.4 breezing in that workout just done a couple of days ago, and has a hot trainer jockey combination. So the 2 is the primary threat for our number 1 selection, the 7. And in the third selection for today's first race is the 4, a high percentage trainer dropping in class. Over the last 14 days, she's won with 3 entries out of 5 entries that she's had at Parx. And in the fourth selection, the number 6, 36% trainer with a 46 to 90 day layoff, 21% trainer, win percentage, claiming trainer, and it is dropping to its lowest race situation that it's raced in yet. So
drop it to the lowest class level. Perfect.
Yeah, lowest class level. Yeah.
For me, I'm looking at this race. I agree with you, Jared. There's really not a lot of upfront pace here. The 7 horse, no sympathy, should be able to get to the lead. The 2 and the 3 might pressure a little bit behind there. Imaginary Sky and Page 11. The 7, if it can get to the front, does have the best late pace numbers too. So it's my top selection as well. I think the 2 and the 3 will chase right behind there, and then the 6 horse is my final pick, Pearl B Dancing. As you mentioned, trainer Mary Pattershaw hits at 37%. And that's 30 races coming back after a 46 to 90 day break, which seems to be her sweet spot because all the other numbers were considerably lower than that. So 7 gets to the lead, the 2 and the 3 chase, and the 6 tries to clean them up at the end to open up that race number 1.
And trainer is 44%. 44% Clarence King when his entries are 5 to 1 or less.
Not bad.
Interesting fact.
Yeah, that's a hell of a fact right there. Race 2 is a 1 mile and 16th run, claiming $7,500 for fillies that are 3 years old and mares 4 years old and up, which have never won 2 races. The 3-year-olds carry 121 pounds. The 4-year-olds carry 126 pounds. Non-winners of a race at a mile over since March 5th get an additional 3-pound break. So looking at a mile and a 16th, as far as the profile of a winner, they've run only 18 races, and 11 of them were won by horses that have the ability to be first, second, or third at the quarter-mile marker. 8 of the 18, so a pretty high percent, went wire to wire. So far in those 18 races, the rail has not won one of them. So you kind of have to avoid that. You have a little bit of a 2 and a 3 penalty. So for whatever reason, the inside 3 posts at this mile and a 16th really have a disadvantage. So you want to look on horses that have a 4+, and all mine are 4+. All of yours except one are. And your long shot here is not your top pick, but your 3.
Is the 3 to get a piece of this purse today, I believe. The 3 last pace speed figures are tops in this field, and Christopher Torres is quite sneaky in these types of setups. At 15 to 1 morning line odds, I don't know if he's still 15 to 1, but we should probably get probably all of that or even close to that, somewhere between the range of 12 to 15 to 1. So if you are playing verticals and you are playing exotics, this is definitely one to keep an eye out for. Could definitely hit the board at quite a nice price. So that is my long shot today. Yes. My top selection is the number 4. Second last outing, similar conditions as this race, has the late pace figures and the closing ability. I do like the 4 as the primary pick today. The second pick in this in the second race, I do like the 5. The high percentage jockey Ruben Silvera gets the mount. Returns to Parx from this horse returns to Parx, and it had previously ran at Aqueduct. I always like the cycle change from moving from a New York track back to home base, and it does take a drop today. So that's very interesting. But if it was racing at Aqueduct, it was probably racing against better company, and so it's dropping back to where it's more comfortable. And like I said, Ruben Silvera gets the mount today. And 3 was my long shot. And my 4th selection for race 2 is the number 6. High speed last outing. The trainer has a 17% win percentage. He did finish 3rd in his last outing. So I put the 6 in there.
So where you start, I stop. Where you stop, I start. With the 6, my top pick in here. As I was perusing through the past performances, I noticed that most of these horses regressed in their last race, and most of them regressed across the board. Very few of them showed any signs of improvement anywhere in the race. The 6-horse Irish Jumper was the only horse in the top selections that showed some improvement last time out with a major late pace jump. So hopefully that momentum carries through in this race. Number 4, Body Slam. Horse that does like Parx, ran there 6 times, has a win, 2 seconds, and a third. At the distance, a win in a couple of seconds and 4 tries, and does have the best late legs by a decent margin. And I don't suspect, based upon the pace setup in this race, this is really kind of across the board. You have a speed horse, you have a one that couple that like to chase, and then you have a couple of closers in there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of bunched up coming around the track, and that will allow Body Slam with those late pace numbers, if it's close enough, to use them to its advantage. Number 7, Sweet Ballerina, is the most lightly raced horse in this field. And when you're looking at a bunch of horses, I don't know about you, Jared, but when I'm looking at a bunch of horses and you got some work on paper and none of them seem to have done anything, I by default like to look at the more lightly raced horses, simply because you don't know if you've seen their best yet. So maybe there's a little bit of upside here for Sweet Ballerina, who has a win at the distance, but did show some major regression in last. So I'm hoping that it regresses, bounces back to its debut form there when it won its maiden two back. And then finally, Bellamy's Party Girl, as you mentioned, comes in from Aqueduct, that class drop, but it has run at Parx before and finished third in 2 tries so far, and is dropping in a couple classes. So you essentially have a track drop, class drop, maybe a mixed record at Parx, which is kind of why I didn't have it rated a little bit higher.
The five.
Mm-hmm. Did you? I know last night you watched the show with Rob Toole from Evangeline Downs. What did you think of that?
Oh, I thought it was really interesting. I didn't even know it was, but I figured it out when we were talking. When I was thinking about it, when he was talking about the track, I realized that all these years I've been looking at my program and not knowing what EVD was, and it was Evangeline Downs the whole time. I just couldn't figure out where that was.
It was an electric vehicle diesel.
Diesel.
Yes, those hybrids with the EV with a diesel, just in case.
But I'm getting bad news that Naira may not be having it on Wednesday, so I may not be able to play it. I'll certainly handicap it, but I won't be able to play it from what I'm looking at right now. So.
Well, you could always open up a secondary account. I don't know about you. I was thinking about this when I looked at it. It kind of has like a Snowden look to it, right, with the lighting in the background. So yeah, make sure you check that out.
I couldn't get. I was on the phone with a client and I couldn't get the tail end. He said something. Pick the 4 in the 5th or something like that. I thought
he had mentioned that in the course of tomorrow's, I think it was the pick 5. He had isolated a horse. I think it was the 4th horse in the 5th race. I'll have to check my notes again, but I think it was the 4th horse in the 5th race. And his reasoning was that Carl Broberg has an entry in there, and Carl Broberg is a pretty dominant trainer down in that Louisiana, San Houston, that sort of across that central south, if you will. And he was saying that he expects that Broberg horses are going to take on money. And because they'll take on money, maybe this horse that's a 95 morning line might be able to actually maybe go up a little bit in odds, but it's probably the one to win.
Makes sense.
Race 4, the 3 is scratched. Okay, so race 4, the 3 has scratched.
The 3 is out.
Race 4, the 3 is scratched. All right, so we can fix that. I know there were some late scratches going on in here. So we're going to move on to, hey, Charles, how you doing today? Good to see you again, my friend. Hope you had a good weekend.
Charles, how you doing?
All right, so race number 3, while Jared can kind of take a look and see. I don't have the 3 in race 4. All right, so anyway, let's go to race 3. 7 furlongs, claiming 12,500, non-winners of 3 lifetime. For 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races, of course, right? 3-year-olds carry 121 pounds. If you're older than that, you're going to carry more, 126. Non-winners of a race since March 5th get another 3-pound allowance. All right, so at 7 furlongs, Jared, the profile of a winner, 60 races, 38 of which were won by speed. That's a pretty high percentage. 15, so 1 out of every 4 go wire to wire. Post positions 2 through 7, they play fair. They play the same. So and then 1 and 8 play the same, but less than 2 through 7. So you like the 4 horse here to kick this off. That's Stay Hydrated. Pretty good advice in the summertime.
Race 3, high percentage trainer, 37%. Trainer from the sprint route to sprint, solid speed figures, and the trainer Penny Pierce has Calabaro riding on this particular mount. March 29th had a workout of 5 furlongs at a flat 103 breezing. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And a bullet of 1 minute 0.4 March 2nd, 1 of 18 works. So I was definitely interested in the 4, and I think the price will be pretty good. So the 4 was my top selection in the will be the third race. Yeah, 4.
Yes, indeed. 4. So your second choice is the 6 horse. That's my first pick. That horse is Perfect Revenge. And in race number 3, this is another race that doesn't really look like there's a pace setup that's going to favor horses that are towards the back, because the 4 horse is the only one that's shown really any speed. So I do agree with you that it should be in your picks, but I'm going to start with the 6 horse Perfect Revenge. The horse is moving down in class and was better in the first half of the race last time out. So that class relief and that improvement should hopefully be enough. Bring that horse home. Number 7, Don't Recall, should be better in its second start off a layoff. ran some of his better early fractions in that last start. And I like to see a horse improve up on the front, especially horses that have a history of good late pace, like the run late. So here you have the 7 showing more interest early, and he has the best late pace numbers in the field. As I mentioned, number 4, Stay Hydrated, probably going to be your pace setter, is dropping in class. And if it can get away with easy fractions, probably can get away with and maybe even an easy win.
Work
Cutting back.
suggests. I mean, the work, like I said, the work suggests that he's prime. He's coming in with good conditioning form.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
and
do
if he
like.
can get the lead, I think he's got a good shot of going wire to wire.
You aren't concerned about the late pace figures on the 6. He did show weaker in his last that he was losing some momentum in terms of his late pace figs. They were
Yeah,
declining.
what I'd like to see though is some improvement somewhere in the race for the horse, and it did improve in that first half of that race last time. So I feel like the class relief here might be enough, probably be enough to make up for that decline in late pace form last time out. I see a lot of times if you see horses, because we don't know exactly what the trainer's trying to do sometimes from race to race. I'm sure they're always trying to win, but I think sometimes with horses, if it shows like a lack of interest early, and then you say, okay, let's go, and the improves there, the next time out, it adds to the fitness. It's kind of like when we do sprints, right? So when you first try to do sprints, if you ever try to do them anymore at our age, but when you first try to do it, maybe you get 2 or 3 sprints in, then you get up to 3 or 4, and then you can hold your win from 40 yards to 60 yards. So I think maybe you might see something like that out of the 6 horse here.
Okay.
No one likes the one my pick in neither one of us has the
In
one
which
here.
race? I'm on
Like
a
race 3, and whenever
race
Charles
3.
whenever Charles gives us a number, man, we got to be
I thought
careful.
one was scratched in
Was
this.
it scratched in race 3? It could well be. Yeah,
I
it was
believe it.
scratched in
Yeah, it
race
was
3.
scratched, Charles.
Mhm.
That's what it was one of my picks. It was my top pick.
Yeah,
Actually.
it was mine too at first.
It was crashed.
So who do you? So you're going to close it out with the 7. I'm going to close it out with the 2. So race number 5.
Race number 3 was the 8.
Right.
My 8. The 8 was race 3.
Mm-hmm.
6 was my third pick, and because 1 was my primary, so I didn't figure out the one for replacing it. So I have 4, 6. 4 moves to my primary, number 1. 6 moves to my 8 moves to my second. 6 moves down to my third spot. So I still have to figure out.
So you have 4, 8, 6, 7. All right.
Yeah, we'll take it down.
All right.
I'll do that.
Next up on the race 5, you got to. So are you going to just move the 5 up for the 3 that's scratched?
Oh yeah, the 3 is out. Yeah, move the 5 up to first. Yeah, move the 5 up to first now.
So you got 5, 4, 8. Any idea what you want to put in there for your 4th pick, or just leave it at 3?
One moment. I'll tell you 1 second.
In the meantime, I'll let you guys know about race number 4. Race number 4 is 1 mile, 35 races, 21 by speed, 10 went wire to wire. You have a fair post position from 1 through 7. You do catch a penalty if you wear an 8 or out. In race number 4, the race is claiming 50,000 non-winners of 1 lifetime with a $18,000 purse. So it's a pretty good purse.
One
you want to put
that slot.
Put the 1 in this spot. All right. So it's also going to alter your prime rib pick. Your hot dog pick 4 coming up, but we'll stick with the same principle. We both agree now with the 5 and the 4 as our top 2 choices and the 1 as our 4th choice. Why do you like the 5 and the 4?
The 5 has 18%. It's got 18% trainer from route racing. Has the late pace speed figures. He's stronger than the par figure for this particular race. And he has Ocasio, who is winning at a 27% clip with these types of races. So I did like the 8.
All right. So for me and the 5 horse, I'm Thirsty, did run the top last race speed figure last time out. In doing so, it showed improvement in its 2, 4, and late pace numbers. And then I also like the fact that early on, you saw that the horse had better early fractions. And then finally, its final fraction was higher than the previous time it ran the same distance. So I like to see that improvement across the board and running faster. Southern Sense, the 4 horse, did show some interest, more interest than usual in the second half of its last race. And maybe cutting off 70 yards from a mile 70 yards to a mile might make up a little bit difference because it did kind of give up a little bit at the end there. And then number 2, West Horizon, does have the top early and late pace combination in the field. Does it have a chance to finish in the money? Yes, but win, I'd say probably not. And the last time I put that designation on a horse, guess what? It won. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. And then Janelle Dreams, 7-pound weight break and had a giant late pace improvement in its last. Any other things of interest that you see in this race, Jared, that might stand out to you as a horse that maybe can defeat the 5 or the 4?
Well, that 8, that subs that like that the 8, it could improve. It has the speed figures. It has the late pace figures. Which is which I found interesting. It does have good late pace figures, and if you're playing verticals, he could hit the try or the super possibly. So maybe he can't beat the top, but he could get in there for a piece. And Adam Bowman's riding him, so I mean you can't count out Adam Bowman at Parx. He can do some damage to your picks, so.
Which is never fun, right?
No.
I want to thank Sherwin Willis, I'm sorry, Lionel TM Hook, and of course, Kenton Stevens for the thumbs up on Facebook. If you agree with them, you like what you see on Facebook, please give us the like, hit the like button. And then, of course, on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't done it already, and hit the like button there as well, because it helps move us up the algorithms. And the higher we go up the algorithms, the more people can tune in and hopefully follow up like we did yesterday, where we just smoked them. Race number. Oh, shit. Go ahead, Jared.
We did.
We're hoping to do the same today. Race 5 is a 6-furlong affair. Maiden claiming $10,000. Nice purse of 19 grand here. And 6 furlongs, as you can imagine, at Parx has a speed bias. 93 races, 61 won by speed, 26 of which went wire to wire. But the most obvious, I guess, anti-bias here is the rail. The rail has only won twice in 93 races. So that's something you have to be really concerned with. And as such, I would totally, you can put the one in the picks, but I've seen the one break sharp on many races at Parx at 6 furlongs, and you think it's got a shot and it doesn't. So I think to win there, you got to be a super horse. You don't have the one in your picks. You like the 7. That wasn't your first time pick, but go ahead. Why do you like the 7?
The 7 in race 5. The 7 is he was moving up in class, but the trainer is 39%. He only lost by 2 1/4 lengths in his last race, but he fought willingly at the end and had a lot of late kick. He does have the late pace figures, and he should be in contention for improvement in this one. So I did like the 7 to improve, and he could potentially beat Scott Lake's entry. I like Lake's entry in this one too, but I moved him down a little bit. You have him too, I see, as your second pick, but percentage drop of 18%. He's an 18% trainer in maiden claimings, third off this horse's cycle. Hot trainer jockey combination, so it's at 18%. I have Scott Lake's entry number 2 there is my third choice. Second choice, number 6, 33% trainer when he drops down 2 or more classes. High speed figures, ran prior in the winter at Aqueduct, and he was claimed from Mike Maselli, who was a pretty fair trainer in these small sprinting races. So he probably has some he's probably fresh, and he has some legs under him, so he could be a contender here. So it did include the 6 for second, and the fourth pick I had was the 4. Third in a similar, although the late pace is slower than I would like to see on a horse, so he's probably a cut below the rest of these. So included.
I'm going to start with that 6-horse Dated Deal is track dropping from Aqueduct. It's also class dropping from Maiden claiming $20,000. And you got a combination in the jockey and trainer combo here of Ronald Dandy and Edwin Rivera. They don't really run a lot together, only 7 times so far, but managed to collect the big check in 4 of those. So it's a pretty good combination. One makes you wonder why they don't run together more often, right?
Rivera's sneaky. I don't know. I mean, I've seen him win some races, and you're right. He does get prices. You're definitely right about that. So if you're looking for value, if that was your argument, I can't knock you there because he does win with price horses. I've seen it happen.
And you think a combination that wins 4 out of 7 races would find more ways to team up. The 2-horse, 1 Inner Tango, third start after more than a year on the sidelines. I did like the fact that the horse showed more interest in the second half of the last race. And this is another one that's dropping from a $16,000 maiden claiming down to $10,000. So maybe that drop will be enough to get it done in the third try, the classic handicapping angle. 7, It's About My Time did run the top last race speed figure as the beaten favorite last time out. Trainer Penny Pierce does rebound in 23 races, 39% of the time to come home with the win. And when Penny is teamed up with jockey Abner Adorno, hope I got that right.
19%.
In the last 4 races, they've won 3 of them and came in third in the other. So the horse also had his
in the one that I had today. She had 2 entries in that third, but that one scratched out. So you think Penny Pierce is cooking something today,
trying to get some W's for sure. And on top of that, the 7 horse here had a Z pattern. It had a nice early start to its race. Saw the mid figures kind of decline a little bit and then picked it back up in the second half of the race. Finally, number 1, Preying on Currency. Trainer Felix Coba Flores. He made a claiming, doesn't enter many of them. He's only entered 14 at the lower levels, but he managed to win 6 of them. I guess he doesn't want his horses claimed. Did run better fractions last time out, despite adding a furlong. You just can't. And I actually had this one rated a little bit higher, but the rails only won 2 of 93. And I've seen a lot of those horses really struggle late. So
break bad, you're done.
Yeah, and even if you don't break bad, they seem to be screwed at that distance.
They get a little skittish on that one post because it's just, I don't know. I saw one come out yesterday from that one post. He kind of went cocked to the right and got spooked and didn't look good.
Yeah, good horses sneaky come down to Parx to win or work out. Yeah. Hopefully they come to win.
That was my thinking, Charles, because I see some of them on the tab today. Like I said, the second race, Charles, that 5 horse is coming in from Aqueduct. So somewhat that's Ruben Silvera. That's my second pick today. So
yeah, and he's top jockey there too. So you can't go when
Ruben
the top
Silvera,
jock picks that. Yeah,
Ruben Silvera. Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're going to move on to race number 6, which is the first of our box it ups. At least I know I hopefully got mine right. Race number 6, right? Or are we on race? Yeah, we're on race number 6. Yes. So race 6 is a 6 furlong. Again, stay away from those rail horses. I do have it in there at the back end of the box, but it's allowance $25,000. Again, speed kills at this distance. Looking at my the race shape here in race 6, again, you have a 6-horse field, but most of the horses, you got 3 that like to chase, 1 that likes to take the lead in the 3-horse, and then a couple of closers. So I do think that you have an opportunity here for pace to make the race. I'm going to start it off with the 4-horse, and that's Rack Gin. Did run the top last race speed figure. Did so by improving across the board. I really love when you see a horse get better through the entirety of a race. And I think the horse also here could have plenty to chase in here as well, because you have a lot of chasers and then 1 closer. So that's where this horse fits in. Number 4, Brilliant Chase. Second off a layoff, was the favorite last time out for the top trainer down there. And that is Jamie Ness, or over there.
Jamie Ness and Silvera again.
Yes, the rebounds at 29% off of the beaten favorite, and
best speed closer.
Yeah, when you throw Ruben up on the horse for Jamie, they win at 34% of the time. That's a pretty high clip.
That is
our Philly special. Yes, your second choice.
Brilliant. That 5 is my second choice in the 6 today.
Mm-hmm. We both have them second, so we have pretty much the same picks except for that 6-horse there. At Philly, you got to do our Philly special. I think this is one that could be the pace setter in a horse field in a race full of chasers. The resume says that third off a layoff should be the best of the 3. And then finally, the 1-horse Johnny Ritt has the early pace and gets the weight break in here. But man, that rail is brutal. So it's going to have to break sharply. But even if it does, I feel like the weight break even is not going to be enough. So that's my box set up. 4 picks. $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box.
I love the cutback angle on that 3. That's that's always a plus for me. I like seeing that. Stretches comes back to this is 6 furlongs from a mile. You're gonna cut him from a mile back to 6. I think he's gonna like the shorter distance today, and he has really good speed. Late pace speed. I believe he will compete with that 5 that you like. Did you have that? Yeah, you had the. Yeah, we both have the 5. Yeah, he'll compete with that 5, and it's either it's a 2-man show from there. I have the 5 second, the 3 first, The 6, 20% trainer route to sprint. Also coming back, is cutting back again, but his late pace speed is a lot slower than the two top primary ones. So that's why he's number 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have Rackgen, but I have him 4th. As I was concerned about the speed. I know he has speed, but I think he may have a little bit of traffic issues getting through here to get a piece. So he's my 4th pick.
Yeah, Charles, the 2 does have the best early pace numbers. It's just that it doesn't seem to be one that likes to take the lead. When I went through the how they typically run and how they win races, seems to me to be more likely to be the co-pilot than the pilot. Maybe his horse just doesn't feel comfortable on the front, or maybe the trainers just say don't send him all the time. I'm not quite sure how that goes. A little bit later on today, if you can have a moment, head on over to Horse Racing Today. I know Jared is filling in for Terry. So if you miss Terry, if you're Blake and you miss Terry, you can head on over to Turf Paradise today over at horseracingtoday.net. It's no longer redirecting to the Viagra site, thankfully. And Terry in race number 6 at Turf Paradise has his best bet of the day. Carry Success, Double Dare You, and Stone Top. That's in race number 6. You can find Terry's best bet of the day every single day. Horseracingtoday.net. No wind, no rain, no snow, no sleet, no nothing. It's going to stop Terry. Not even vacation on the beach with his wife. It's going to stop Terry from putting his best bet up there. That's a committed man. What do you think, Jared?
Terry, but the man works hard. He deserves a day off. Anytime he wants to take a day off, I'll give him the relief he needs. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, it's been fun. All right, so we're off to race number 7, I think, because I get lost sometimes where we're at. But race 7 is a 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming 7,500 non-winners of 1. Have not won a race since January the 5th. Well, that's not all that long ago. A little bit of a weight. 3-year-olds carrying 121. Older horses carrying 126 pounds. First time we've seen a 1 mile and 70 yards today. They've had 96 races, 64 won by speed, 23 of which went wire to wire. In this spot, unlike the 6 furlongs, there is a strong rail bias and there's a strong inside 3 bias. And 8+ plays better than 4 through 7. So you like the 5 horse. I like the 5 horse. In fact, we like the same 4 horses. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. What's the top speed of the race? Makes logical sense. It's got the highest percentage jockey. The 4 as the late pace, outstanding pace figures, and the trainer does win at 23%. The 1 is in a similar race as his last condition, second off the claim, and gets the rail, but he did lose to the number 4. He's a little tick slower than the 4, and the 6 it has early speed, but will fade in that race. He'll probably go out as a pace setter and fade later on. We'll see him gone by the 6 furlongs or 7 furlong mark, where he'll fade back. So that's why he's 4th. If he can even hang on to 4th, I don't know. He probably won't even hang on to 4th. So. But
we'll see.
That's how I
gotta hang on here too. I forgot to put up our hot dog pick for us. So. All right, so in the first race for Jared, the 4, 8, and 6. I have the 4 and 6. I have the 6 and 8 in the reverse order. Race number 4. The 3 is scratch. So we'll go ahead with the 4, the 8, and the race number 4. We'll go with the 5, 4, and 8, and then race number 4. We'll have 5, 4, 8, right?
5, 4, 8. We'll go with 5, 4, 8. Mm-hmm.
Race number 5 and 6 should remain the same. And over on my end, I'm getting a little bit crazy in race number 5. I am making a stand on that 5 horse. We both have the 5 horse as our top pick now, so that might play out well. So I'm going to go 4 by 1 by 3 by 3 and hope that I can bring the hot dog home. Again, Jared, in race number 4, the 3 was scratched, so it's going to be 5, 4, and 8. All right.
And 8. Mm-hmm.
Now we're back on track. So my take on race number 7 looks a little like this. This one has a little bit more giddy up and go. You got 3 horses that don't mind to get to the front, another 2. So that's 5 of the 8 that like to get to the front or chase. Maybe even a 6th of the 8 can get to the front and chase as well. And then looking at it, number 9, Penis. has if you say that incorrectly, you could sound much different than name. But has 9 wins and 24 at Parx. Did show some better late pace last time out, and I think this horse is likely to be either the pilot or the co-pilot. Number 1, Carmeltini. As I mentioned before, there is a very strong rail bias. And then when you put the combination of Edwin Rivera and Donald Dandy together, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, so they are teaming up a little bit more here today. Winners of 4 out of 7 together. Number 4, Townsend, winner of 2 in a row, did show some late pace improvement last time out. And I'm a little bit concerned, though, looking at the internals in that race, that maybe he peaked 2 back, but hopefully still has enough to finish in the money here. And number 6, Successful Legacy, has a considerable early pace advantage over the field. That's why I feel like the 5 horse is going to be the co-pilot. Usually wins with the lead if it has the lead in the stretch. So that's the key to that horse. If it can get past the 4 furlong marker and hold on to its lead, then it has a chance. Well, in this case, you're probably at the 6 furlong marker. So if at 6 furlongs, Successful Legacy still on the lead, they're probably not going to pass.
See, who has the mount on that 5 today? I don't remember. Can't remember. I have to take a look and see who has the mount on that 5. I think it's
on the 5 horse today. The jockey is, hold on one second. It is Silvestre Gonzalez, who's a very good jockey there too. Yeah.
Yep. He does good too. He'll break him right to the front. He'll go right to the front. If he gets a clean break, they'll be chasing him to the wire. They'll be chasing him around the park. That's
probably
that's
what'll
the
happen.
Speed of the speed. That's the lone speed right there. That's why he's my top pick today.
That's one of my favorite angles too, the speed of the speed, because he disappoints everybody else. No love for the 2 with improved effort last race, tougher condition. The race number 7, the 2 horse. I think, let's see, why did the race 7? I'm always scared when Charles puts a horse out there too. Taylor's Bell. Yeah, I did like that late pace run there at the end last time out.
The 9 just scratched in the 11th.
Did it just scratch in the 11th?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes for fun.
Okay, now I gotta figure that one out.
Well, that's the fun thing about doing live stuff. We always end up with different things to core along the way. So race number 8, I do love the 2 there, Charles, as my long shot play. Race 8 is a 7 furlong maiden $42,000 race. If you look at 7 furlong affairs, the speed, as usual, wins 60 races, 38 won by speed, 15 wire to wire. Posts 2 through 7 have it best. Jamie Dreams is my long shot here, the 2 horse. There's not a lot of early pace here and has the top early pace numbers in this field. Trainer Luis Linder Jr. must think he has a horse here, because last time out, he put him in a $100,000 non-graded stakes race, and that was his 2nd career start. So I'm hoping he goes back to that debut form. And I see you have the 2 horse here as well, but you also like something else. So why do you like the 4 as your top pick? Strawberry Cone. Race 8.
Penny Pierce. Last 10 days, trainer is 60% with an ROI of $4.15 and wins at 25% and drops in classes. That's all you need to say.
You don't need much more than that. Yeah.
4.15 ROI. That speaks volumes to me if we're looking for profit. So it's a profit angle, but it also is a trainer angle. So, and that's a big.
What's interesting to me here is what's this, an 8 horse field? So you have 4, 2, 3, and 6. I have 2, 8, 5, and 7. The only horse I think we don't have covered is the 1 horse between the 2 of us. We have a wide disagreement in this race. So this might be a race then, because if you and I see it completely different, odds are other horse players are going to see it completely different too. So it might be a race where you can get a good price. I'm
surprised you didn't. The 6 you didn't see like the radar on that 6 though. I mean, dropping and ships in 21% trainer shipping in. It was the horse. This horse was priorly owned by Brad Cox. That tells you something right there. So
I feel like Brad Cox doesn't let good horses out of his barn though.
Sometimes, yeah, he probably doesn't. Yeah, that's a good point. But if it came from Brad Cox, it probably has really good conditioning. So it's got to be considered. That's why I use them. So
the 6 horse, Verbier.
Not as the top, but
well, did get the Lasix in there, did run for a high price at Churchill Downs. This is to me a wide open race though. So that's kind of why I was looking for prices as many as I could. It is dropping in class. The Parx workouts were not all that all that fast, though, if you look at them, though,
The
right?
three, the three's pedigree suggests that he'll be there though. He's out of Malibu Moon. I really like that angle, and he's out of Malibu Moon, and Malibu Moon was really good in maiden special weights and sprints, and uh, and route and later in his career he was good at rate. Then the trainer in 47 in his 40 out of 47 races, the trainer has 8 wins, 7 places, 10 shows.
He's only got one win, the 3-horse at Parx, though. Was it Alan Bedard? He's 1 for 27.
Bedard,
Yeah.
that's a bad angle, but
I mean, the trainers don't carry the horses, right? The horses carry
but
the
Malibu
trainers.
Moon, I mean, Malibu Moon was a runner. He was a runner. He was so later converted, I think, into a turfer. So you never know. You got to take something at a price. You got to grab. You got to grab.
Especially this race. Like I said, if you look at the fact that the only horse we have the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 8. We just don't have the 1 between us. So do you want to change your 4 to the 1, or no, your 2 to the 1? That way we have all 8 horses. One of us will definitely have the winner then.
The 2 to the 1.
Yeah, just kidding.
No.
So you're going to go 4, 2, 3, 6. I'm going to go 2, 8, 5, 7 with the 2 being my long shot of the day.
But we know the rail is bad. Why would we pick the rail for that particular situation?
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying, that based upon the fact that we have 7 out of 8 horses and 8 picks between the two of us, just gives some.
So if we do a boxed exacta with my 4, and then you box your 4 and exacta separately, we got the field covered.
Exactly, except for the 1 horse. But the only problem would be probably one from your group will win and one of mine will come in second.
Yeah, right.
And we'll both be on the wrong side.
Circumspect. Yeah.
All right, so you're going to bet the 1 for, yeah, you probably should do that for, and Linder is an excellent trainer as well. All right, so let's move on to race number 9, which is a 6.5 furlong allowance, $35,000 race. I think this is the first time today we've seen 6.5 furlongs, 40 races, 26 won by speed, 14 of which went wire to wire. And this is a goofy, to me, this is really goofy because at 6 furlongs, you have 2 winners in 93 races. You add a half a furlong, and then you get a very strong rail bias instead, which is kind of crazy to me. So I'm going to go right from my long shot in race number 8 to my best shot in race number 9. And that is the 5-horse Empress Irene. I think this horse is going to be the pace setter. You don't even have it, so that kind of scares me a little bit.
I don't have the 5.
Yes.
No,
well, at first you did have the 5, and then you changed it to the 6. So I was confused. I thought you had the 5. Maybe I was just putting my picks in there
because
trying to help you out a little bit.
I'll tell you why I changed it to the 6 a little. The top speed, a bullet shows bullet works, and it's my friend who's always good to me on the tote, Mr. Jeremy Laprida, riding him. So I will go with the 6. And 6 is my birthday, so of course I'm gonna go with the 6.
Mine is on the 6th too of July. What month were you born?
September.
So a few years later. I do think though that the 5-horse does have the best early pace numbers by a pretty good margin, and this horse has been in the winner's circle 4 in a row, so that does worry me a little bit because sometimes it's hard to win 5 in a row. We both like the 2 Mia Tosca next, coming out of that $100,000 non-graded stakes race.
It's Kathy Demasi's mount, and she's winning at 22% at the meet. So, and Lewis Linder is on the 2, so you have to use the 2.
And Charles says he's a big fan of Lewis Linder. I also like the fact that the horse ran much better fractions at 1 mile and 70 yards as he did at 6 furlongs. So they're even better than they look because of the added distance.
If you're getting 5 to 1 on this horse, take it. I'm gonna grab it. Drop a 50 on him because he's got a chance to hit the place. I'm going to play the straight as a place wager. I'll tell you that straight up. I'm playing that as a straight place wager today. So,
and then your top pick, the 6, is my 3rd pick. So we agree that the 6-horse is one that contend. And then I'm going to bring him home with the 3-horse. Gias Fuego is the lone EP horse in the field, meaning it can take the lead, sit off the lead if it wants. Is getting a weight break. It looks like the trainer here is adding blinkers because maybe the horse is a little bit unfocused. And when the horse is focused, you'll see a couple races, 2, in fact, prior to its last effort, did manage to go wire to wire. So maybe the addition of blinkers, which is a 2 out of 5 angle. I don't really pay much attention to angles where trainers only done it 4 or 5 times. It's really not enough data to really say it's something you can hang your hat on.
Kathy Demasi has 2 mounts in this race, so
She's
gonna
going
leave.
for the win here.
She's going for the win. She's going for the purse. She's going for the win. I think she's
Mhm.
got. I believe she has the. No, she doesn't have the 2. She has the 4, and I think she has the 6. I think she has the 6.
So now we're moving on to your best bet, Jared. Race number 7, optional claiming $50,000 race here. You're going to take that horse on the rail, Starship Loban.
Starship
I
Low-Man. I've seen him at
Loban.
Gulfstream.
Yeah,
He's raced.
I
He's
so
raced
much wanted to go against this horse, but I just couldn't.
Speed. He has the highest speed rating. He's got Ruben Silvera riding him with Jamie Ness as the trainer. We know what that combination can do, and he was second place last out, and yeah, he was second place. I think he was second place last out. I've seen this one race at Churchill, and I've seen him race at Gulfstream. This is literally like a drop down in the bucket for him because he's not facing higher competition.
Mm-hmm.
This is like yesterday at Turfway, Turf Paradise. This is Pluma going around the track and Catch Me If You Can today. So,
And it was the same number 1 as well.
and the same number 1.
Yeah, fortunately, you don't get as big a penalty here as you do in the 6 furlongs. I wanted to go past the 7 horse, to be honest with you, but just missed in a $100,000 non-graded race last time out. At Parx, great record, six times out, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. I'm going to go with the 7 horse like you on the next one. Skiret does have some early pace. I do like the fact that it has the early pace and gets that first dose of Lasix. Pay attention to that angle if you haven't tuned in before. So many times you see a horse maybe have the lead 3/4 of the way through the race, fade really hard. The next time out, so bettors a lot of times overlook that horse. Next time out gets Lasix, and it gets to the lead, and that speed just does not go away.
Seven's a contender. The cutback, the March. Look at and if you see the March 29th work, 4 furlongs and 49 flat, breezing.
Not bad.
I like that.
So then I have the 3 horse, 6 o'clock Sarah. This is a track dropper for Jamie Ness coming in from Laurel. He's got, which is anytime Jamie Ness, and because we've talked about Jamie Ness a little bit today about how he dominates Parx. And anytime you get a positive ROI with Jamie, you have to think something's going on to the positive there, because you're not going to get a positive ROI on him because the money's going to follow his horses around. But yet, when he teams up with jockey Jamie Rodriguez, then those two together put together a 51-cent positive ROI, which is interesting to me. As I said, it's a class dropper in terms of track. Should be better in a second start off the bench, and Jamie's put 12 furlongs of workout, including a bullet, since that last start. So this 3 horse really concerns me to beat the 1 horse here.
Interesting.
And then finally for me, I have horse number 6, as do you, but I have a little inside information today, folks. So we reached out to the friend of the show, Tyler Connor. If you keep track over at horseracingtoday.net, you'll see that Tyler, he does a very nice thing for us. He gives us his thoughts on all of his mounts at Penn National. So I would expect to see that up on the website today, maybe, but he is traveling between Penn National and Parx. He's riding the, I suck at technology, but he's riding on the 6 horse here, My Dixie Lass. And he
10?
says, in race number 10, yeah.
Okay.
And he says she's a very hardy filly. She's done everything right so far and ran in some fast-paced races. There's some speed in here, so I expect to be around mid-pack. And as long as she's comfortable, I'll just tuck her in. Boy, that almost looked like an F. And wait till it's time to go and swing out. She seems to like to make her run on the outside. She's been working well, so expect a good race from her today. That's straight from the jockey's text.
I'll have to put him in my triple and my exacta then.
Yes. And then I saw where he was coming in to ride, and I like that. Yeah, it's a play. As long as he's brought his best clothes with him.
Definitely a play.
Indeed. So that gets it. The only thing for me though, and you're familiar with the Parx track too. It's a lot of times these Penn National shippers, they just don't perform at Parx.
They just get skeevy. They get skittish. They just don't like. They can't adjust to the full dirt. And I think it's more like it's dirt but I think it's more like a clayish dirt at
Mhm.
Penn National. So the surface switch doesn't necessarily advantageous for them when they're making those changes.
Coming here from it just seems like those Penn horses underperform at Park. So you're 9 scratched in race 11. So who's going to
Yeah,
be
let
your
me give
replacement?
a second on that one. On
In
that
the
race.
meantime, the last race on the card, race number 11, it is a 6 furlong race. One thing you could put the one in there as your as your fourth pick. I wouldn't put him in as your first pick because speed wins, the rail doesn't. It's 2 out of 93. Like I said, every other distance except for one that we talked about, I think it was a mile and a 16th. The rail didn't do very well. It hasn't won there either. A mile and 70 yards. But outside of that, I mean, 2 for 93. Secretariat couldn't win against these people on the rail. So what do you want to put in there for your 9?
I will use the 5.
Good
Dexter
call.
Hadley Mount.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to change your box it up too. This is where we do 4 horses. Let's see. Penn to Parx, no bet Parx to Penn bet. Yeah, I agree with you, Charles. It seems to me that it's a track upgrade from Penn to Parx, and a track downgrade from Parx to Penn, or the other way around.
From
My
Penn to
dyslexia
Park.
kicking in. Yeah.
No.
So here is your box it up, except you don't have the 9. The 12 horse moves up to where the 9 is, and the 5 horse fills in the 4 spots. So your box it up is going to be 10, 4, 12, and 5.
5.
$1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. I wanted to put that 10 horse Call Me GQ in there as my top pick as well, but I backed off that horse because the distance 6 times, only 1/3, wasn't a big fan of 6 furlongs.
I just think you're gonna have to get somebody out from the outside rail. I mean, I saw last week the 11. I think it was 11. It was like race 8 or 9. It was 11, 12. You usually get that outside horse somewhere in the latter portion of the card. So I mean, I'm with you on the 12. I mean, 12 is going to be there. That's no doubt about that. So I have him in third. You have him as your top pick, which I'm interested to hear about that. But yeah, I'm the cutback from a mile to 6 furlongs. Trainer wins. Trainer wins as the favorite 35% of the time. So if the 10 is the favorite, I mean that's an angle right there for me. And who was the Pelosa Miguel? Doesn't get many mounts, but he's I don't know if he's a Parks jockey. I think he's a shipper. I think he's from a different track. I gotta find out where he's from though, but that is not a Parks jockey. And when I see a jockey that is not indigenous to the home track, it makes me perk up as they may be trying to pull something that the
Pull a fast one.
Yeah, well, not something the general public will maybe miss and be like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. He's no name to me. I never throw out the no-name jockey that I don't recognize. I use him. So that was my thinking with that one.
So the Philly pick 5 goes down today. Must play defensive moves into your plays. I agree with that. So looking at this spot, I like the 12 horse here. The couple of scratches now move the horse down, I think, to the 9. Because there were 2 scratches before the 9 scratch. So I tell you, from the 10 horse field and 12 horse field to 10 horse field down to the 9 horse field.
Yeah, I had the 2 initially. That scratched. The 9
and the 6. So
and
the last
6,
time. The last time this 12 horse was the most outside placed horse, Keekerland, actually won. And I think it's going to be on the gas right away and probably be maybe not on the lead, but could well be on the lead. And the last time it was the most outside post, managed to go wire to wire. So I'm looking for a repeat performance of that. Indirectly, go ahead.
Is that Silvestri too riding him? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Check them out on that one.
Let's see who's riding the 12 horse. It is on the 12 horse. We are looking at, and again, he's going to be the 9 out of the 9 hole. You have, it is Luis Ocasio.
Oh, there you go. There's a plus right there.
And he's done all right at the distance, in the money, 6 out of 11. Did win one at Parx, like I mentioned. That one was 5.5 furlongs a couple of races back, where it was the most outside placed horse. So I think Kirkland gets to the front if he can repeat that effort. Still has enough late energy to get the job done. The 5 horse is my second choice in here indirectly. This horse should be one that does better in its second race off the bench. Did improve its late pace significantly last time out, so seemed to find its groove. Your 10 horse, Call Me GQ. I think it is likely to be the favorite in here. It is one of two horses that can pilot or co-pilot, so does have some versatility, does catch the top jockey and Ruben Silvera, but that 6 times at the distance and only 1/3 might just not be the right distance for this horse. And then I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the rail horse in there, the one horse. I saw it all. I can't put it to win because of the rail, but it's another horse that should be rolling late. And that extra weight, taking off that extra weight, might be enough to propel this horse into 3rd or 4th. What do you
So you'll
think?
take a flyer and play the super on that one?
I don't know, because of the way all this stuff is kind of broke out with the scratches, kind of alters the change a little bit. But I would think about, because you're going to get some good prices in this field, because I do think it's pretty wide open.
I'll throw a dollar super on it for the hell of it, just to give it a whale. Oh, in case my rib blows up on me. But
And then you also have your, as we mentioned, your box it up here. And then here is our prime rib. So the 9 horse in Jared's case is replaced by the 5. So he's going to go 4, 2, 3, 6. It's going to be interesting, because on that first leg, one of us is going to get smoked unless the 2 horse wins.
Well, I mean, then I got the that's the 8th race, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the one where we had total disagreement across the board, where the one horse is absolutely going to win because it's the only one you and I both passed.
No, I won't be the one. I think we'll be safe on that, but it's going to be somewhere between the 5 and the 7 post. It's pretty sure about that.
So we'll see what we'll see how it all plays out. But let's see. We'll see what you hope. Maybe the 2 wins and we're both alive. And then in the next race,
I think 4 won 3 races yesterday. So 4 seems to be a good number. I'm going to stay with 4.
it's going to go with the numerology. I like that.
I think 6 of my wins yesterday that I played were 4s, including the first I had at Will Rogers. It was a 12-1 in the first race in the slop. And then the double was the 4-4. So I don't know, 4 seems to be a good number. It's the 4th of April. April is the 4th month.
Today's the 5th, though. So yeah. So
yeah, today's the 5th, but April is the 4th month of the year. So
yes, indeed.
Why not 4?
So here are our full picks. I think all the scratches are accounted for in here. So I'm take a look at that. Parx race 1 through 11. Our hot dog picks, Jared's got a little bit changed up, because in race number 4, the 3 horse scratch. So it's going to be the 4, 8, and 6. Our prime ribs look like this. Again, in the last leg, Jared's 9 got scratched, so substitute the 5 there.
The 5.
Our box it ups look like this. Again, you want to substitute the 5 for the 9 in Jared's box it up. And then let's see, 7-1 easy, 7-1 race 1 easy. Yeah, we both had the 7 as our top choice there, right? All right, so let me pop back to here and take this off.
Appreciate that update.
Yes, indeed.
We knew that.
Well, we both had that one right. So tonight on, let's see what we have cooking here tonight on, if you join Sean and I tonight on Horse Center, we will have jockey Maddie Rowland, who is just, she's beat me so many times down there at Tampa Bay Downs that I almost want to let her know tonight. I'm going to let her know how much money she owes me for beating me with all those races, but should be good. Young jockey, really doing well, popular with the fans down in Tampa. Again, that comes on at 8:00 this evening on the Horse Center show with Swiss Army Sean and I. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube so that when the show goes live, you're notified. Hit the bell specifically. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2. Sean will let you know when we're about to go live. And finally, one last thing before we let you go out of here today. If you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet today, we did so well at Turf Paradise yesterday that it will be the free track today. So if you go to Turf, if you're going to play some Turf Paradise picks, Guaranteed Tip Sheet, click on that. You'll see today in race number 1, 19 crimes. That's about the number I've committed in my life, is the top choice there. So that horse is named after me.
Yeah, we had a couple of winners at Turf Paradise yesterday. All right.
I think that covers just about everything. Any final thoughts, Jared, before we go up and out of here?
Just support the channel. Give your love to everybody that does give your love to Rich. Give it to Terry. They do a good job. We want to get the viewership up to more people. Myself, well, but we want to get the viewership up. We want to expand the community. We're all here for each other. We're all in this game to try to make some money and have a good time. So support the channel and give the love. So.
And another way you can support the channel, thank you for that cue, is to go ahead and head on over to horseracingtoday.net, click on the HRT gear button, and pick up a shirt. Summer's coming. You're going to look great in that purple number 10 when you're at the track. Everybody's going to ask you, where did you get that shirt?
I'm going to get a zesty number 6 with a 6.
That is the night. I like that one. That's one of my favorite ones. I've
The
worn that out.
With the yellow and the black. That was pretty nice. Like that
when I'm out, anytime I'm wearing it out, somebody comes up to me and says, hey, where'd you get that? Thank you, Charles. Best of luck to you, Charles, as well. All right. We will be back tomorrow with Evangeline Downs, Jared and I. So we're going to compare our picks to last night's guest on the Horse Center show, announcer Rob Toole. We'll see who's better at Evangeline, the guy who lives there or the people who just kind of carpetbag there.
If I do good at Evangeline, I'll be shocked because I never played the track before.
That's where your handicapping skills come in, Jared.
I guess so.
Yeah, indeed. So we'll be back tomorrow. Jared and I are going to cover Evangeline Downs. Thursday, we're going to go to your home turf. As you can see, he's all outfitted in the New York Giants gear and Rangers gear. So we're going to be at Aqueduct on Thursday. Looking forward to that. Yes, so
you don't want to miss that show. You don't know.
No excuses for Jared come Thursday. Until then, folks, we hope you have a fantastic, terrific Tuesday after its chaotic start. And as always, we hope your day, your picks, and everything that you do, Jared, ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. See you all tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday.
Have a good one, guys.